Thanks for tuning in to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be taking care of the cosmetics of the Volkswagen project. A couple months ago, before I started doing the mechanical work, I gave it a quick wash and I took care of the top, so we'll flash back to that before I get started. And it doesn't look too bad from 10 feet away, but once you get close you can see the paint's dull, it's oxidized from sitting outside for a couple years. And being single stage paint, I don't want to take the DA to it because I don't know what's been done to it in the past 30 years, so I want to make sure I don't burn through the paint that's left on it. I'll start with probably clay barred and polish. Hopefully I don't have to get too aggressive with it to bring the shine back. And then we'll move on to the interior, and that should be pretty easy. It was in really nice shape, so it shouldn't take too much to bring it back. But I guess let's get started. My first attempt here is with the 303 convertible top cleaner. I started with this rag top brush, but it would be good to use if the top was already clean, but it's a little too soft to get down into the grain. So I did find this nylon kitchen brush, and that seems to work really well, getting down into the grain. It's still stained black, but it took a lot of the dirt off of it on this first pass. So I'll do the whole top with the convertible cleaner, and then I'll come back with the bleach and convertible top mixture, and hopefully that'll take the staining off of it. Status update on the top. I started with my bleach solution and it didn't do anything with a quarter cup of, I think it was a quarter cup, no, it was a half cup of bleach to a gallon of water. That didn't do anything. So I just started pouring more bleach in until it started working. So I don't know how much bleach is in there now, but it's actually doing something. And I've got this half of the top done. You can see it brightened it up pretty good. And in the back here, I did the back at the top, but not around that side yet. So it's definitely a lot whiter. It's not going to be bright white, seeing how, as far as I can tell, it's the original top, but I think it'll clean up pretty nice. And once it's dried and I finish doing this, put some 303 protectant on it, and it should be fine for a daily driver. Here's our finished product. I think it came out pretty nice. I was worried that it was going to look pretty stained and I'd have to replace it, but I really didn't have anything to lose. If it stayed black, I'd have to replace it, and if I put too much bleach on it and it eats it, then I have to replace it anyway. So I figured nothing to lose, and it came out pretty good. So now I'm going to give it a quick bath in Dawn dish soap. Just a simple wash did a lot of work on brightening up the car. So it definitely helped that my uncle had the car detailed before he had it detailed and then directly parked it behind my dad's garage for 2 years outside. So with the detailing prior to that, it really helped to be able to wash everything off easily, and it should polish up pretty nice. And the interior is in really nice shape. The carpets are nice. I just need to vacuum those and they'll be done. The dash, the detailer kind of greased them up, but I'll take some Dawn dish soap to the whole car, clean off all of that garbage before I put on the 303. Now my go-to supplies when I'm working on the interior of a car: Dawn dish soap and Spot Shot. This car is pretty clean, so it doesn't need a lot of help. If it had mildew or smoke or something in it, then I have to get a little more aggressive with it. But I hit everything with Dawn dish soap, scrub off all of the garbage that's on there from previous detailers, and get all the grease and grime off of the steering wheel, the shifters, the seats. It cleans up all of that stuff nice, and then the tough spots I hit with Spot Shot, and it gets everything off of it. And then I come back with usually 303 for the dash and any of the harder surfaces. The fabric, I don't need to do anything with that. Finished scrubbing everything down. I didn't expect any miracles because the car was already in really nice shape. The plastics are a little blotchy now, but that'll come out when I put the 303 on it. Everything will look really nice then. One thing to keep in mind when you're wiping down door cards, especially on something this old, don't saturate it with water, and make sure you dry it off when you're done so that it doesn't break down the glue and hurry the delamination of any of the fabrics. So that's what I did. I just wiped it down with a mildly wet rag and then came back and splotched it dry so the water wasn't sitting on it. The seats look great. Once they dry, they've got, since how they're still wet, they're a little bit of a grayish color, but once they dry, those should be fine. I finished vacuuming the carpet. That looks great. And the trunk I've already cleaned up. It looks good. I just need to put the shock tower caps back on. Cleaned up everything under here, got the spare tire back in there. And I also put a new lift strut on the hatch lid, so it opens on its own now. And that's about it. And here's the finished product. I think it came out really nice. I've got it sitting outside so the seats can dry out, but it came out really nice. So let's go ahead and move to the exterior. Here we are, ready to get started with the polish. I went around, it took about an hour to tape off all of the black trim parts. I'm going to be doing it by hand, so it won't be as bad as if I was using the polisher. If I'm using the polisher, I usually use the 2-inch tape just so I don't run up into the windows or like you get up into here, but doing it by hand, it's not so big of a deal. Yeah, you don't really need to do reflectors or anything like that. Those are shiny plastic, so the wax will, it'll wipe off of that. And over here, we got my bag of tricks. So I use Chemical Guys stuff, and I do that just because it's what I've always used. You can use whatever you want. So I've got from very heavy to moderately heavy to final to glaze, sealer, and wax. And I'm hoping, you always want to start with the least aggressive thing. And since how this is my first time with a single stage paint car, I'm definitely going to start probably with the final polish. Hopefully that'll brighten it up and then I can just move forward. I really don't want to get into some of the heavier polishes, but we'll stick it on time lapse. This will take a while, maybe a couple days. I did a couple test spots to see. I ended up doing a clay bar on everything, all the flat areas, and then from the belt line up. And it smoothed it out nicely, so a good place to start. And I ended up I tried just a finish polish, so I did this area right here. I tried just a finish polish and then the glaze, and it still looked a little hazy, so I went back with the moderate polish, final polish, and then put some glaze on it. And it came out pretty nice, so I think that's what I can do with everything from the belt line up and then like the top of the wheel arches. And then I took just finish polish and tried a spot from the belt line down. I had some streaks down here and it brightened it up really nice. So. All right, status update. I've finished the polishing and it's come out pretty nice so far. Under the fluorescent lights, the hood and the top of the fenders are still a little cloudy, but it's old single stage paint, so every time you use something a little abrasive on it. It just takes a little more paint off. But I'm going to try, well, I've already tried taking the DA, and for the glaze sealer and wax, I think I'll go ahead and use the DA. Those aren't very abrasive, so we shouldn't burn through the paint anywhere. And I've already done half of the hood, so you can see from there over has been done with the glaze on the machine, and it looks pretty good. So I'll do the same from there over and then on the rest of the car, and then seal and wax. So even if I get it looking pretty good under the fluorescent lights, it'll look really good outside. All right, everyone, here is the finished product. Exterior, interior is done, and I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. Considering how it looked when I purchased it and how dull the paint looked after I'd washed it, I wasn't expecting much, but for 30-plus-year-old original single-stage paint, this came out really nice. We can see a nice shine across the hood, and it also helps that it's white. White is very forgiving. Yeah, it came out really nice. If we come over here where it's in the sun and look down the side has a nice shine to it. Yeah, the exterior just came out really nice. Now let's take a look at the interior. I'm really pleased with how this came out too. It wasn't very dirty, but as we saw earlier in the video, this is cleaned up really nice. Very little wear on the seats. For having 100,000 miles on it, it looks pretty good. Back seat, that all looks nice. The door cards look nice. Passenger door, same story. If we take a look in the trunk, the new lift strut is nice. Trunk is really clean. Pan's really nice. The spare tire has never been on the ground. Still has all the little tits on it. So if you haven't done it already, like and subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos on this Volkswagen project. But thanks for watching.